Hello, this is RICKY, the Android guy. Hey guys, so today we're going to be going over the two heavy hitters on Android. That is the Galaxy S3 versus the Galaxy Note 2. Now, these are the top phones right now in the market, not only for Android but for all ecosystems. So really want to kind of go over and kind of explain the reasons why these are and what we've seen in them. So first, just on the look and feel. Look and feel on both. Really nice designs, very thin phones, very lightweight. I forgot actually how light the S3 was because I've had a case on it for a while now. And it's so light, but yet really kind of sturdy and fits perfectly in the hand, curves into the hand. Even if girls out there that put it in their back pocket, it kind of curves down with it, so it'll fit perfectly. In terms of the Note, it is obviously the bigger out of the two, but it is not as big as you think. And I recommended already on the full review that you guys go out and check out the Note 2, because if you're thinking, oh no, it's too big for me, I can never have a phone like this, honestly, you might be missing out on something amazing. And I'll go over the differences on these two, but basically the Note 2 has a really nice screen. It's actually superior to the S3's. The technical term is, it has an RGB matrix instead of a pentile, but that's not really the specs wise. Just when you see it, we'll see it in the video playback, and you'll see it's just a really difference in when it comes to the screen quality. So we'll go over those kind of things and a little bit more. But first, in look and feel, they're both really two amazing designs. I would give look and feel for the average person to the S3 simply because, for some people the Note 2 will not be the phone for them. Overall, in terms of design, they're both top quality. And a lot of people always question Samsung's material for plastic. The thing they don't always mention that's polycarbonate plastic, not just plastic. It's polycarbonate plastic with a touch coating at the end called Hyperglaze. And what it does, it not only provides a very sturdy material, but it makes it so that you definitely have the best connection possible. I've been in areas where I had phones like the iPhone 5 and like other phones that use aluminum or glass or anything like that, like the HTC phones. Well, not only HTC phones, they use polycarbonate too, but some parts, some people use metal. And even the new LG one using glass and metal. And people don't realize it till you don't have the metal, but you get a much better connection when you do not have that metal on there. Just because of how wireless connections work, I'm not really going to get into it, but it's going to be a lot better connection. And I've done this time and time again on all on all these things that I review, even on, you guys can see all the tablets. The other devices, unless they're right next to it, will not have the same connection that the Samsung counterpart does, simply because they use a plastic instead of metal, and which actually provides a superior connection. So with that said, let's go into web browsing and let's check out. Now, obviously, you guys know that I have all three major web browsers on my phones. However, I will be using Chrome because that's the one that I get asked, oh, why don't you use Chrome for it? So I will use Chrome for this one for you guys. And let's just get on the same website first. All right. So obviously when it comes to web browsing, you're going to have a very interesting experience on these two devices. Now, both are top quality in terms of how fast web browsing goes. Even as you saw on my comparison with the iPhone 5 and the Galaxy S3, the Galaxy S3 was just a little bit faster when it came to web browsing. Both respond on these two very quickly. Basically, real pleasure in terms of how quickly each one moves. No kind of lag on either one, and just really good. That was on a regular website, and then let's go to a mobile website. And again, just kind of really quick in terms of moving. The text is always very legible on both. No real signs of any kind of lag with any text, definitely. And let me just try to find the same article. And let's refresh just so you can see how quickly these are, and then we'll try to go in the same article for you guys. Okay. Just so we can see the text comparison between them. And we'll put it all the way up to the gift card section. And just making sure both are up to their brightness. So you can see the difference in text isn't too much. The Samsung should actually, on this one, should be a little bit sharper in comparison. But in terms of resolution, this has a better pixel per inch, as they call it. Whereas this one has a different matrix, which just makes it better. So they're both pretty on par with each other. And for some reason, my browser is dimming the brightness, which, just so you know, it's dimming the brightness, so that's why this one is a little bit duller in comparison right now in terms of color. But what I want to point out is when it comes to web browsing, there's something that the Note has that no other cell phone can do, even tablet for that matter. So when we go to a website like Best Buy, for instance, what we tend to have to do on phones, any phone but the Note, is go to Products, and then we click on, say, Mobile Phones. And then it takes us over there. But, you know, I wanted to look at smartphones, or I wanted to look at prepaid phones, or something like that. Well, on the Note, what you can actually do is you can actually, let me zoom in a little bit for you guys. You can actually go put your pen over it and then go into your category. So what was I on? Mobile sites? I can go to mobile, and I can pick the different types of mobile I want to check out. If I wanted to check out a specific carrier, if I wanted to check out, you know, unlocked phones or mobile broadband spots, you know, I can do that right then and there, and it'll click on that one instead of going to, you know, where I have to click another part on here. So it's just a time saver, and that's one thing that the Note 2 definitely has going for it, is that this phone is a time saver. Everything moves quicker on the Note 2 than even if a phone would be faster than it. And I'll explain that a little bit more and a little bit later in just different sections. So now let's go into music. All right. So we have the same song that we're gonna play, and we'll start off with this one. All right, now this one. Okay, so pretty sure you guys can hear the difference. I'll play 5 more seconds just on each one, just so you guys can. Okay, so in terms of overall sound quality, it will go to the Note 2 simply because it has just a little bit of a stronger speaker in comparison. Their placement's also a little bit different. On the S3, you have it at the very top, whereas on the Note 2, you have it towards the bottom. Towards the bottom just makes a little bit of a better experience when you're holding your phone like this, of course, simply because of the fact that it's going to be closer to you, and it doesn't, it tends to lean more towards the very edge, so it's really even closer to the side part. However, when you watch it landscape, the difference is minuscule when you're watching such as a video. So let's go to the video player. And one thing I like to always point out to people is Samsung, as I have it on here, while I get this one ready, has a gallery app and a video player app. So the reason why this is so different is because videos normally look horrible on the gallery app. And that's simply, from having, when you have a gallery app, the problem with it is, you have a little small box for your video and you can't even tell what it is half the time. On these devices, however, you have a moving video, which just makes it really nice. So I really like that fact that you have moving video, and it brings out a lot better in terms of not only quality, but just which video you want to play. Now, I do want to point out these are a couple of the extras that the Note points out, and that is when you're hovering over your device, you can actually play the video, which is just nice again, so you can even preview it even better than the S3 can. Now let's zoom out a little bit, guys, and get the video we want. Let's see which one we're going to be doing today. I think we'll go for this commercial right here. Since these are both Samsung devices, let's show off a feature that one of them has, or that both of them have, sorry. Okay. So these are going to be in video player. I think you guys can see both of them now. Okay. And let's play them at the same time. Alright, so both are really good video quality. In terms of clarity, both of them are going to be really good as well. Just very sharp images all around. And they both have extra features. However, the Note 2 does have 2 more extra features in comparison to the S3, even when you're watching a video. So on one of them, you can actually, again, hover over this part right here and actually skip ahead or go to any scene in the video that you want, which is, again, just really nice and it's a little extra. The other part is on the Note 2, you can actually take a photo of your video. This is really nice because, as I pointed out in the review, like say if you're at a kid's birthday party or something like that, you took the video, no one took photos. Well, it doesn't matter because you can actually go back to your video and then take photos. This is something that the S3 does not have on its features list. However, one thing they both have is pop-up play. So if we go like this, we can continue playing the videos while doing anything else. Now this is of course really nice, but again, not only does the Note 2 originally have a bigger video than it, but on the S3 you cannot resize the video, whereas on the Note 2 you can. So just a nice feature to have is the ability to resize it. I definitely like that ability. Both can be moved around, of course, but the Note 2 has the advantage of being able to resize the video. So let's go into the camera. Camera, as you can guess, will not be that different on either one of these devices, but we'll go through them. Alright, photos and landscape. So these were both taken pretty much just now, and let's check it out. So in terms of just doing it on auto, not tweaking it at all or anything like that, one thing I do kind of notice is that the Note 2 does a little bit better with surrounding light. So if you have images where like there's a glowing light behind someone, and that tends to be, either with sunlight or any kind of fluorescent or anything like that, it does do it a bit better on the Note 2 as compared to the S3. So in terms of clarity, they're pretty much on par, but let's go with color reproduction and let's see how that looks. So in terms of color reproduction, again, very, very hard to pick out a difference here. Colors are almost identical on these two. Nothing really stands out too much. The yellow is probably the biggest difference, where this one was a little bit more true, but it's very, very tiny. Its color reproduction is almost identical. Now, in terms of the actual camera app, however, again, both are very similar. They both have features like being able to take a photo with your voice by simply saying capture, shoot, smile, or cheese. So you have that ability with both of these devices. However, oops, Facebook started. However, so that's why I was uploading a photo to Facebook earlier. So one of the nice things about the Note is that you do have certain features, such as just being able to hold the shutter and it being able to take rapid fire shots, whereas on the S3 you have to go into burst mode. So just subtle differences like that, as well as you have two more shooting modes: best faces, which is ideal for group shots. It makes sure you never have a bad group shot again. And of course, low light, which provides you with the best low light photo without needing a flash in areas that you cannot take a flash. So in terms of overall, they're both close, but the Note 2 just wins it by a little bit on there. All right. And now, in terms of gaming, guys, honestly, both are top-notch. Both do not really slow down on most games. You tend to notice a little lag, I would say, coming with the S3 on the high-end games, such as some of these, but very minuscule, and it's usually in a loading area, not in a gameplay area. So that's, of course, really good that you don't notice lag really when you're playing a game. However, when it comes to no lag, that would go to the Note 2. Just definitely really amazing in terms of gaming quality. Also, obviously, this is one part where the screen really adds a nice touch to it. When playing games, especially HD games, you get the full experience. So really good overall in terms of that you just have a really good experience. In terms of speed, though, I mean, lagging or anything like that, the Note 2 will be almost better than the S3. Obviously, it has the better processor compared to the 2, but overall, or if you're on the international version, better processor or better RAM. So, but either way, both are fairly quick. The Note 2 just is a little bit quicker, but it's hard to tell at times, just because, of course, the S4 processor on the S3 is really good as well. Now, when it comes to battery life, well, battery life is definitely going to go to the Note 2. The S3 is already known for having, about an 8-hour battery life to 9-hour battery life on LTE. Especially, one thing that both of these exude on battery life is when you pull both of these down, you go into power saving mode. This will extend your battery life the longest possible. Now, it will slow down your processor a bit, so I wouldn't do anything like gaming when on power saving mode, but it really just exhibits the best kind of battery life out there. Now, the Note 2, on the other hand, will go more like 10 to 12 hours on average on LTE, and you easily get a day and a half when using HSPA+. So really, really good battery life on these guys. Definitely, if you want the top-of-line battery life, it would be these. I would argue that the Note even has the best battery life, even considering the Razer Max, just simply because of the fact that although the Razer Max has a bigger battery, Samsung just does a better job with power management than Motorola. And I've seen this on a couple of the new Razers. Although they have really good batteries, their power management can use some tweaking. And this can come with an update, so I do give them that credit. But just really good in terms of power management by Samsung. In terms of extras, what can I say, guys? They have identical extras with the exception of one, of course, and that is the pen found on the Note 2, which just gives a lot of things. I mean, it has its own category for things like AirView, so you can actually preview, getting things done right away and seeing birthdays and all this kind of stuff and all that. You can, of course, write on your stuff as well. So things are just really good. Not to mention things like, pop-up note, which utilize the pen, and things like that. And you can even, switch the pen from erase to marker. So things like that really stand out, especially on everyday usage. It's not just extras just to have extras, and that's what I really like about the Note 2. It's not extras just to have extras. It's extras that people actually use. So when it comes to price point, guys, the S3 is $100 less starting, and when it goes on sale, which it has been a lot lately, the S3 is easily going to win out when it comes to the $149 price points. The rumored $99 and $49 price points, of course, were amazing. So it's really interesting to see how this has continued to sell and continued to dominate the market. So let's tally them up, guys, and let's see which one wins it and why. So this is really important. So in terms of look and feel, I will give it to the S3. It just has still the better look and feel for every person that has a phone and they're thinking about getting it. If you want look and feel, it's going to be the S3. It's just really exquisite and very light, so very easy to carry for anyone. When it comes to web browsing, I guess I will give it to the Note, although these are pretty on par with each other. So very, very close, very minuscule too. The only reason I give it to the Note is because of the additional feature that the pen gives, which is in web browsing that you can actually go to any site and actually use it like you're on a desktop with a mouse. So that's why I will give it to the Note. In terms of music and movies, I will give this to the Note, not only for its better speaker quality, but because obviously, and its bigger screen quality, but because you actually get extras that you can do with those. So the fact that on the video player you can actually change it around, and of course with the new multi-view app coming out for it, you're going to be able to watch even like YouTube while doing something else. So for video taking for video watching in terms of that, you'll be able to do two apps at the same time, so you can watch your YouTube while text messaging someone. So that's really something to look forward to later on. Now, in terms of the camera, slightly goes to the Note 2. I think Samsung just, although it's pretty much the same camera, even if they did it in some software changes, it just processing certain photos does turn out better when it comes to the Note 2. In terms of gaming will again slightly go to the Note 2 just because of the better quality in terms of processor, and it just has no lag whatsoever, and again the bigger screen comes into play. In terms of battery life, it definitely will go to the Note 2. Both have a great battery life, and I want to point that out again. Both do have top battery life really on the market compared to a lot of phones out there. So really good battery life, but just again, the Note 2 just has the bigger battery inside of it, and it definitely shows. In terms of extras, obviously they have identical hardware built into it, with the exception of the pen having a little bit more extras that connect to it. So both of them have the same micro SD card slot with 64 gigs to add on. Both have same extras in terms of software for the most part, so that's going to be very similar. In terms of price, of course, it'll go to the S3, a lot less costly now as when it came out, and really still offering a lot, and at these lower prices, it's just the best bang for your buck out there, period. So when it comes right down to it, which one is better? It will be the Note 2. It's just a better device overall in comparison to the S3. Now, some things that I think will help the S3 along the way is getting Jelly Bean. So that is an update that the S3 will look forward to. So far, Sprint is the only one that has that. And I want to give a kudos to Sprint because they're the first one to get both of the two updates that I'm about to recommend. So, or not recommend, but that will help out. So Sprint actually released Android 4.1 on the S3, and on the Note 2, they are the first US carrier to already have multi-view, which is really great because you can have two apps using at the same time. It can be used with any Google app, with any Samsung built-in apps, so like text messaging, chat on, all those, video player, gallery, all those apps, and also two social networking apps, Facebook and Twitter. So kudos to Sprint for being the first one to roll both of those updates out, and all the other carriers, what's going on? You know, I mean, Sprint did it, why can't you? So it's really good when it comes to that, and I think both updates will help out both phones along the way to being not only the best phone now, but being the best phone 6 months from now. So I think that'll really take hold. And the other thing that I do want to point out is that when it comes to these two, the S3, yes, is the smaller, lighter one, and definitely lower for the price. The Note 2 is going to be the best phone for anyone that wants a top phone, as well as if you want an easier phone. The Note 2 does have a easy mode that's ideal for a newcomer to Android that is built into it, and I have a video on that, so check it out if you haven't, and it goes a long way for a beginner user. And finally, I just want to end off on, this is what I would do before I get all the questions. What would I do right now? If I did not have a Galaxy S3 and I had an older phone, I would recommend buying the Note 2. Guys, trust me, go into the store, use it, play with it. It's amazing. It's just, any doubts you have of it of size-wise, just go away. I promise you on this. Second, however, when it comes to the S3, if I already had an S3, would I get a Note 2? No, this would not be enough for me to pay, $650 outright or $700 outright. So I would not spend the money if I had an S3. If I had an S3, I'm fine with my S3. I wouldn't change and leave it for this. However, if I did not have an S3, I would easily buy the Note 2. So that was the full comparison on the Galaxy S3 versus the Note 2. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. This has been RICKY, the Android Guy.